Call me immature, but I don't want to have a conversation about anything anymore. I don't want to clear the air. I don't want clarity. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to communicate about it. Let's leave it at that. You did what you did. Let me move on in peace. I don't want to talk about it.
Just because some people had a hard life doesn't give them a reason to treat people badly. Nigga, I went through that same shit and I'm still a good person. Your situation, your circumstance does not generalize the whole fucking world. Just because they broke your heart and did you wrong and fucked you over, don't mean the next person gonna do that. Part of yourself need to look in the mirror. Part of yourself need to start asking yourself questions. Part of yourself need to choose better. Part of yourself need to make yourself better to be able to choose better, to find better.
People ask me all the time why I don't sit around debating people online, why I don't do endless back and forth arguments. And the truth is simple. I don't argue with people who deny facts. If you can look something up, see it clearly in front of your face and still reject it, that's not disagreement, that's denial. And denial is not intelligence. Some people don't understand what stupidity actually is. Stupidity isn't not knowing something. Stupidity is being shown the truth and refusing to accept it. And we're seeing a lot of that right now, especially from people who move under the MAGA ideology. Let me be clear. I'm not calling it a cult. I'm saying it's cult-like. Because in that space, everyone has to think the same way. Everyone has to repeat the same talking points. And the moment someone steps out of line, the moment they criticize Trump, the moment they ask for accountability, they are immediately rejected. They're called fake. They're called traitors. They're pushed out. That's collective thinking. And when collective thinking takes over, facts no longer matter. You can present evidence. You can show documents. You can show video, and it will still be dismissed. Not because it's wrong, but because it doesn't align with the group. That's why debating people like this is pointless. You're not starting from the same reality. You're not operating with the same moral framework. You're not even agreeing on what truth is. So no, this isn't a debate. It's a brick wall. You can tell them the sky is blue and they'll come back with 10 conspiracy theories explaining why it's white. Why would I argue with someone when I'm bringing verifiable universal facts, especially when everyone has a smartphone in their goddamn pocket? You don't need my opinion. You can look this up yourself. A woman who did not run over an officer lost her life. That is fact. She was not wanted. She was not a suspect. She was surrounded by multiple agents, and yet people who can barely articulate the situation are out here justifying her death? Ask basic questions. How many agents were around her vehicle? Why were they reaching into the car at all? What threat justified that escalation? And what sense does that make? If the mission is public safety, why risk everything over a woman sitting in her car, clearly distressed, not fleeing, not wanted? These are not radical questions. These are reasonable ones. And the refusal to even ask them tells you everything you need to know.
We're not angry enough. We're not angry enough. We're underreacting. We're underreacting. No, white people are underreacting. White people aren't angry enough. Ain't shit gonna change until white people step up. Obviously, what happened to Renee Good was absolutely horrendous and it should not have happened. But what happened to Renee Good has been happening to black people for decades now. Government-sanctioned agencies have been unaliving people who look like me for decades now, just for existing. This is nothing new to us. And obviously, it's fuck ICE all day, every day. And twice on Sunday. But Renee Good isn't even their first victim. Those psychotic motherfuckers have unalived over 20 plus people just in the past 6 months. And the thing is, black people knew this was gonna happen. We tried to warn y'all that this was gonna happen. We've seen this movie before, but y'all didn't listen. Because y'all were too busy arguing over which politicians were taking AIPAC money. And you trying to tell me that all of a sudden a bunch of white liberals are getting on the internet saying that they're afraid to fight back? Because they fear for their lives? Come on, y'all. Be for real. Y'all are waiting for us to do it. Because you've grown accustomed to black and brown bodies being your sacrificial lambs. We're not doing that anymore. It's gonna have to be y'all.
Eventually, the people who are the easiest to take for granted will also be the hardest to try to replace. A lot of people ain't gonna deal with your lies, your manipulation, your toxic behavior. They deal with it over and over again because they love you, they loyal. You think you're gonna be able to just throw them away and somebody else just gonna pick up the slack and take that nonsense? And if you do, that's you. You believe what you want to believe. But at the end of the day, respect those who good to you. Treat those who, love you, treat you with respect, support you. Treat them with love. Care for them. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't like that, man. Appreciate the ones that love you. Value those who love you. Don't step on their hearts. Don't step on their toes. Respect them. Especially if the fact that they love you. Because a lot of people ain't gonna love you. They're gonna manipulate you to get what they want. And that's facts. I appreciate everybody that got this far in my message. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day.
The country isn't the way it is because of the president. We have the president we have because this country is the way it is, and I can prove it to you. My granddad fought in the Korean War back when, units were segregated to black units and white units. And when he was home on leave in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, it was him and a few of his friends that were also on leave, and they would always go on leave together because they wanted to feel like they had some sort of safety, which obviously was a fucking pipe dream back then. And while on leave, they decided that they were gonna try to have a good night, have some fun, as people do. And they went to a movie theater, a segregated movie theater. And after the movie, they wanted to go get something to eat, so they were gonna walk to go get food. And while standing on a street corner, waiting to cross the street, some white cops pulled up on them and said that they were loitering and they couldn't be there. And before giving them the chance to comply, because that's some of y'all's favorite saying is, well, if you just complied, they didn't give them a chance to. And my granddad watched one of his good friends get beaten to death on a street corner. Simply for existing while black. In uniform, by the way. In the uniform that was given to them by the country that they were fighting for that clearly didn't give a fuck about them. This isn't a new thing. It's not an isolated thing for all the people who think that, it's been so long since it's been bad for minorities or since it's been bad for black people. That was pre-civil rights. That was pre-Rodney King. That was pre-Trayvon Martin. That was pre-Tamir Rice. That was pre-Alton Sterling. That was pre-Breonna Taylor. That was pre-Sandra Bland. That was pre-take your fucking pick. And now we're here. It's a domino effect. And now all these white people who finally understand what's going on because a white woman was killed. We've been telling y'all for a lot longer than the last 5, the last 10, the last 20, the last 30, the last 40 years. If we don't matter to this country, eventually neither would you. And here we are. I hate to say I told you so. For my granddad, for all the ancestors past, I hate to say we told you so. But sometimes it simply just is what it is, my boy.